What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Podcast Charge. This is episode 15. 15 episodes in. Oh my gosh.
15.
That's a long time.
Hype.
Yeah, I know, right? 15
Yeah.
weeks of fun. All right. So I'm your host, Hector Ramirez, alongside Ben, who just dropped his...
Yeah, drop my pen. Hi guys, I'm Ben Atwater, returning after a couple of weeks off, but happy to be back.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you're back. You know, you might see this guy around camp just skipping around. You also might see him in the line for the next premiere movie.
That is true.
Yeah.
It's true. We'll get more into that later.
Yeah, no, right, definitely. He has a big announcement he wants to put on for Podcast Charge.
Yeah.
That we're excited to talk about. But first, as in usual fashion for Podcast Charge, you go over the news of the week. And you can always pick up your copy of Charger Bulletin up in the news rack every Wednesday on University of New Haven. Or if you're not a student, you can also go to chargerbulletin.com. You can also follow Charger Bulletin at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Charger Bulletin for all that good stuff. If you like what you see here, click that like button. Also, click subscribe to view more weekly content for University of New Haven and fun stuff. Mm-hmm. So, some of the first things I'm going to go over. We don't have much to go over for this episode, Podcast Charge, but the first three, really the only three that we have here listed, I have on my computer screen, so that's why I'm looking off screen. Don't worry about that. First thing is Main Street Condo Fire Displaces Students. Again, Main Street Condo Fire Displaces Students. A very serious topic going on. So on Saturday, October 17th, the Main Street Condominiums Complex in West Haven took damage from a substantial fire in the kitchen of an apartment that housed 4 unnamed undergraduate students. The fire has been reported to be accidental and originated from a microwave malfunction. None of the students were harmed, thankfully. The fire was put to a stop in the apartment before it could spread throughout the building. And I also just read, before I actually finished typing this up, the Office of Origins of Life confirmed in email that the 4 students were given on-campus housing in the interim, so at least they have a place to stay when the apartment was,
Yeah, Main Street's on fire. Yeah, it's popping. It's lit. Main Street's lit. But, yeah, it's, hope...
You wanted to input that one, didn't you?
A little bit, yeah. No one was harmed, so that's good.
Yeah.
You know, as an RA, I've never had to deal with a fire, per se, in Burger Me Hall, but, yeah.
Thankfully, right? On top of all the responsibilities to deal with.
Yeah, fire would be the last thing to deal with. But yeah, I mean, was it only one apartment, or?
Yeah, it was only that one apartment, so it was in the complex, it was only that one apartment that got burned.
Mm-hmm.
And thankfully it didn't spread out, so that's a good thing.
So is it are the residents going to move back in?
The next thing is, it is unclear whether the apartment will be fully repaired by the end of the academic year. So whether they're going to go into an off-campus site, it's not really sure, but yeah, they are staying in on-campus housing in the interim, which I don't really know.
Well, I guess that means they find open rooms, and they just stick them in there.
Yeah.
It's obviously not their room of preference, but...
yeah, exactly. It's where they're staying, but...
Just got a roof over the heads.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully not too much was damaged as far as their valuables.
Yeah, that'd be horrible.
Yeah.
Well, at least there's no pets allowed, because then no pets were damaged in the fire.
Yeah, that would have been bad. Oh my gosh.
That's the worst when you hear about these fires, when the dog or cat is trapped inside.
Yeah. Then you get that cat that just jumps out the window because they don't really care anymore.
Yeah.
All right. And, so the next topic or next news story, whatever.
News story. There you go.
It's been a long day. It's rainy outside. I'm like extra tired. It's been raining all week.
It has been, yeah.
It's kind of a downer.
Once marching band's over, it seems.
Yeah.
Of course, we don't get any rain during practice, but yeah.
It just wants to rain all week now. I don't get it.
I suppose.
Yeah, I just want to stay home and play video games, to be honest.
But... New England. Me too, dude. Me too.
But, okay, so let's get back to the next news piece. So, plastic bag ban in Connecticut. So, that's the title of the article. Here's a little bit of synopsis of it. On October 28th, UNH, or University of New Haven, held a meeting to discuss the ban of plastic bags in Connecticut. University of New Haven senior Jessica Zielinski, member of the RTM in Westport, Liz Milwee, and Senior Director of Sustainability for Novaplex, Phil Rosinski, that was a little out there, were guest speakers for this meeting. I didn't really say that correctly, did I?
It's cool, man.
Yeah.
There's a conference about, banning plastic bags.
Yeah, basically. The 3 guest speakers are the one I just named. All spoke about sustainability and various plans and projects for a solution to the litter problem that plastic bags seem to create. The goal of the plastic bag ban is to reduce litter, marine debris, and landfill rates. Not really much else to go on that. There's just a meeting, and they just had like a public forum about it.
I mean, here's the thing about environmental policy. in the past, it's never really worked by forcing people to make a conscious effort to change. So they're going to ban plastic bags. What's the alternative? Paper bags is going to cause a price increase. There's going to be a consumer deficit. It maybe. I mean, obviously, I'm not an expert on the subject, but I certainly hope they do a full study because they're awfully convenient for a lot of things.
Yeah, definitely. What was it? Senior Director of Sustainability for Novalex, Phil Rosensky, he did go over some of his research in a PowerPoint. As they detailed in the article, he did do a presentation. They did put research up why we need to convert and and just ban plastic bags.
See, the only thing I'm thinking is
it's very hard to just move from one thing to another.
Yeah, and especially often you have unintended consequences, which actually we'll get into more later with the movie. But for instance, I know a couple of years ago, Stop and Shop back in New Jersey, they made changes to make the plastic bags thinner, so it's not as much plastic. But the end result is they ripped easier, so people would use 2 plastic bags, and the end result creating more waste. This could have the result of perhaps more paper wastage, more paper usage, and what with trees already being cut down, but we'll have to see where this goes.
Yeah, I mean, what they're doing now, at least at the price right, you try to. It's okay.
I'm not on point today.
But if they're doing that price right, you actually have to pay for bags.
Really?
Yeah. If you
Where?
go in Bridgeport.
Okay.
So if you go to the Price Right, it's on Main Street, and they don't give you plastic bags. You have to either go with your own bag, or you have to buy them.
Really? Because I've heard of it where they'll if you bring your own tote bag or something, they'll give you 5 cents off your order. But you actually just have to pay for them.
Yeah, you have to pay for the.
That's
bag.
Interesting. Yeah. And so when you go there, do you pay for the bags or do you bring your own bags?
No, I go with my dad all the time. We just bring our own tote bags.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it makes it easier. So, I mean, it's for us. You don't need extra bags if you don't really want it.
Yeah.
So, that's about it for plastic bag ban in Connecticut story. The next is a pretty exciting one that happened on campus. It is Psycho Beach Party brings the beach to UNH, and Psycho Beach Party was a theater production done by the UNH theater program. It premiered on November 4th at 8 p.m. at Bucknell Theater. The play takes a satirical tone to beach party movies of the 50s and 60s with the themes of music, fun, freedom, and sexuality in a hilarious and twisted way, reminiscent of the 80s slasher films. So as soon as I said 80s slasher film, I thought of Halloween and Friday the 13th, which is cool. The play was written by Charles Bush and directed by Jonathan Yukich. The last performance on November 7th, and Psycho Beach Party tells the story of Chiclet, which is chicle is actually in Spanish for gum.
Chiclet or
Chiclet. I'm just saying
Chicken.
chicle. Yeah, because it's the Spanish word for gum.
Okay.
So, but Psycho Beach Party tells the story of Chiclet, a young teenage girl who wants to learn how to surf with the twist that she has multiple personalities.
Okay.
Which sounds pretty cool. Attendance of the show gave the play raving reviews from when it was premiering.
Now, did you see Psycho Beach Party, Hector?
No, I wanted to though. But the thing is, the times were off and just not good with my schedule. Being a commuter, it was not really well. So, but did you see it?
I did not. Yet, what I did see was I did see the Cabaret show, which happened the Tuesday after the show, and apparently it was a lot of the same people that were in Psycho Beach Party because it's the theater kids and everything. Yeah, so I think it's pretty impressive that a lot of people, and also backstage too, just the fact that they're working on 2 productions at one time because so much time goes into it.
Oh yeah, completely.
The Cabaret, it was enjoyable, It
was. You liked it? You're more of a movie guy than a theater guy though.
Well, I mean, I like my share of theater. When it's well done. When it's well done, I do. I'm really more into opera, which I know not many people in our demographic are, but overall Cabaret. I mean, it was free, and it was a night of music, so yeah. I mean, I had a good time.
Good.
It's better than just playing Assassin's Creed in my dorm.
I know, right? I mean, but it's by, like you said before, it's by the same people that did Psycho Beach Party. Mm-hmm. If you liked it, and I think it's a good sign because you're a critic.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you're not a harsh critic, but you're a critic nonetheless. You look at things from a different perspective.
I mean, I'll just say, I think it was, everyone seemed to work very hard. Obviously different levels of talent. This isn't really a music school per se, so it was. Considering that, I would say it was a good production.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard. One of my friends did actually watch Psycho Beach Party because he's in a class for theater. I think it was like intro to theater. It was like an elective
Mhm.
for him. He said one of the time was to go watch the play.
Yeah.
He liked it. He thought it was good. He had a write a review about it.
I
So.
mean, yeah, the theater department here, it's interesting because I saw the Rocky Horror Show last year, and it was good, but there seems to be a bit of a lack of a formal training, like
Mhm.
vocal training, that is, which granted we're not a performance based school, so I wouldn't expect that.
Yeah, it's more for a hobby and like.
More for a hobby, more for just people having fun in their pastime. Yeah, and I definitely enjoyed it on that degree.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So that's it for the news story of University of New Haven. Of course, if you want to check out more of our news articles, which we do have more of, they're up in the Charger Bulletin newspaper. You can pick up in the racks every Wednesday, or you go check out chargerbulletin.com. There's also a little piece about one of my radio shows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, or at least
TMG.
yeah, my radio show. So a quick shout out to Team TMG. It's an internet radio show that myself and my partner Luis Perez host every Monday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. You can catch an article about it here in the University of New Haven Charger Bulletin paper. So check that out.
recommend it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I gotta have you on there too. Not only a podcast show for you because we can talk about movies all the time. So
Yeah, I'm absolutely down. I hear they have a really good logo for it as well.
yeah, I know. Tell me about it. Like the logo I heard was like done by the most professional artist
Yeah,
I've ever
I've heard
seen.
that, yeah.
Yeah, I paid a lot of money for it too. His name is
course.
Ben. His name is Ben Atwater.
Yeah, none of these things are true. But yeah, it's a great show.
No,
Highly
but-
recommend it.
Yeah, so speaking of the logos, you also did a logo for Podcast Charge, which I'm
Mhm.
immensely grateful for.
Oh,
Thank you
of
for that.
course,
You did the
dude.
really cool logo for Podcast Charge.
Gotta have something to pass my time on duty.
Yeah. Well, again,
Um,
thank you for that. I mean,
of course,
it's an
dude.
awesome logo. It's up on our Facebook page and all that kind of stuff.
Check
which
it out.
All gonna be in the link in the description below for Facebook page and all those links. So
Like us on Facebook.
definitely, please
Yeah.
do. So with that all said and done, let's get into your topic,
Oh boy.
which is something very exciting for you as a
Mhm.
producer, director, writer. I mean, just film extravagant in every way and shape. and form.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah. So talk about it. What's
Okay.
going on?
So, pretty much since freshman year of high school, I've been making films, short films. Normally the focus is around Godzilla because I'm incredibly into the whole franchise. I've grown up on it. So I would often make remakes of old Godzilla films using action figures and stop motion. But also had characters. They were always had a certain degree of comedy to them because. When you have to make the most of very very limited resources, the result it's interesting, it's inventive and it's funny. So excuse me. Last year I made the Battle of Kaiju Island. That was at the end of my senior year in high school, and it was that was 2 years ago. Oh wow, I'm old. Anyway,
It's starting to hit you now. Huh?
Yeah, kind of. So pretty much, that sort of spun away from it and took a more sci-fi element because as a huge avid fan of sci-fi, I sort of drew elements from a lot of other films and put them into one. And I would say the case is even more so with my latest film, which I would say, personally as a director, I'm the most proud of. It's titled 2048: An Interstellar Odyssey to the Dawn of the Forbidden Planet of the Kaiju Part 1. So
How do you remember that?
Yeah, exactly. So a bit of a spoof in of itself, but it's not exactly what I find is that the comedy comes from taking something that isn't so serious by taking it very seriously.
Right.
So I drew upon elements, most namely from 2001: A Space Odyssey, Interstellar, Planet of the Apes, and because pretty much through sci-fi, there really isn't any truly original sci-fi. Everything draws from one another. So this sort of capitalizes on that theme and draws from a lot of different sources.
Right,
I mean, there's shot-for-shot scenes from 2001: A Space Odyssey, or from I even have some shots influenced from The Hobbit in there. Just I view it like sort of as an homage to some of my favorite films. And it by far took the longest to ever shoot. It's taken me 9 months from when I first started writing the script to wrapping production. The economics department, actually, they had a premiere party last week in which Hector here is in attendance. So you want to give him a little review of it?
Yeah. So
Be honest, man. I can take it.
well, the thing is about reviewing fan films. I never want to be too critical on it because
Feel free, man.
I mean.
Go ahead for it.
Okay, so for me, this movie, first thing off, I love the poster. The poster is one of the best things I've ever seen as far as like a fan film poster.
Yeah, my boy Dylan made it.
Yeah, it was
Awesome.
awesome. I mean, it was just your face just cropped onto like Aragorn's body from the Lord of the Rings poster
yeah.
with the sword and everything, the spaceship.
Godzilla. It's very
yeah.
Yeah, very much a pastiche of many other movie posters, intentionally, of course.
Yeah, it's amazing. That I love, and, even like the title, or just not the title, but the more like the font of the title
Mm-hmm.
gives off like a full off like adventure kind of like movie. Like you have no idea what
Yeah.
you're going in for. I kind of get that vibe from it.
Yeah,
Just from the poster.
I tried to keep the tales more of a secret going into it versus my other films, or maybe I would put out casting calls on Facebook. This one had there was only one other actor in it actually,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah.
Okay, so starting off from the movie, I thought it was great, just from the way it started off.
Thanks, man.
So the whole in the cockpit, or more like in the spaceship,
Mhm.
that was great. I don't know how or where you filmed that, but it was pretty cool. Cause I actually felt like like in that cockpit itself, it was really dark, kind of like mysterious kind of era to it.
Kind of like in a spaceship. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So going towards the movie, it was comical in the sense that because we were looking at kind of thing, like it was a fan film and all that kind of stuff. Stuff that I thought was great and kind of have a really like you got the space feel from it. Was when like the outside shots when you're filming the spacecraft. Because like I had to like imagine myself a little bit, like okay, I'm watching this spacecraft going into space, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just
excellent effects there.
yeah, like but you saw like the strings on like
strings?
the toy hell.
What strings are you talking about?
Like,
I don't know what you mean.
it was great
Yeah.
because like I had like use my imagination more.
Mm.
So it made it a lot more fun in that sense, rather than just seeing it and absorbing it. I had to like really be more imaginative on it. But that was fun. The one critique I will have though is some of the sequences were a little too long. And
It's fair.
Like when you're going to the not black
wormhole.
Wormhole. There you go. I would say warp hole. When you're going to the wormhole, that seems a little bit too long. Even though the music, the way it started off, was like really good. I was like, I'm kind of a little scared of what's going on right now.
So that would you mind if I take a minute? Or
Go
two?
for it. Yeah,
Pretty much
interject.
that I drew very much from the Light Gate sequence in 2001: A Space Odyssey. Have you ever seen it? Kubrick's. Oh, it's a masterpiece.
Okay.
I highly recommend it. But that scene, where all the colors as David Bowman is going into the wormhole. It's around the film culture. It's considered to be incredibly excessive and to go on forever. So I kind of capitalized on that. In hindsight,
okay.
Maybe it wasn't best for my film with pacing, but but keep going though.
No, I like to know where you get these inspirations from because obviously you're conscious of like, okay, this is a little long, but I want it to be like that.
Yeah.
So now that I know that, I kind of understand why you did that, which is a good thing. But of course, not a lot of my favorite parts were the space thing because I'm not like a big sci-fi person.
Really?
No, yeah, I'm not a big sci-fi person, so that's why like
that's my jam.
Yeah, I know that's a thing because I'm more of a fantasy type person.
Fair enough.
So when I was watching sci-fi, I was interested. I was seeing where you're going with this, and then when I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but
spoilers.
Yeah, no, but I won't say spoilers because I want people to actually watch it and like get absorbed in it. But I like the surprises you had. I like where it was going.
Oh, how the planet was. Well, I don't.
Yeah, no, but I like where you're going with like the AI. Your partner, just where you're taking it. I thought the script was well done too.
Wow, thanks, man.
Yeah, I thought the script was well done for the way you're setting it because that kind of stuff really is complex.
Yeah,
for sci-fi.
Yeah,
and it just as an audience or someone who's not sci-fi, it's hard for me to wrap my head around it unless like you envelop me in characters, and you did. You enveloped me in characters. That's why I was kind of like caring about where's this guy going? What's going to happen?
Thanks for saying that, man.
Know?
Yeah,
Yeah, if I can't grab onto the science of the world, I'll grab onto the characters, and you gave me a reason to grab onto the characters.
I'm glad, man. So. Yeah. It was relatively low character, but the biggest thing with filmmaking, because this by far, I think it's the most professionally of all my other past projects. I'm definitely, if there's one thing I want to be remembered by, it's this. Until my next one, because what I've heard from my friends back home is they think that they keep getting better and better because I keep learning the tools of storytelling. You got to keep people engaged, you got to have good pacing. And the biggest thing is world building, man. Yeah. And working on a shoestring budget, it's not the easiest thing to do.
Oh,
world building.
Yeah.
So you have to try to go and film places where there's nobody around. Which is kind of hard. A lot of times you have to, ask for forgiveness, not for permission to film at places.
Yeah.
So
no, exactly. Yeah.
I'll just leave it at that.
But the second piece of your movie, that I was like, okay, this is really cool because you got some awesome shots, like of you climbing a mountain.
Oh,
Just the
the
music.
cinematography.
Yeah, the music in the background, and you were just traveling along. It was great. A couple of times it did feel scripted. Like when you're on the rock and you're kind of like talking out in the distance, but you have that awesome background shot.
Yeah.
That part did feel a little scripted when you're talking, but as soon as you got up and then we got into a really cool like
All the monsters start coming.
yeah, the monster sequence.
Monsters
was
on the
cool.
desolate planet. Yeah, should we just give a quick synopsis? Can I give one really quick?
Go for it. Yeah.
Pretty much, it's 2048, and all of Earth's water resources have been drained, kind of taken from Mad Max Fury Road a little bit.
Right.
And from there, so they find a wormhole around Venus through which they think might be an answer. So it's now a scientific expedition, but the AI on board sort of goes a bit haywire and wants to send the ship through the wormhole with the crew involved and tries to kill off the crew, kind of like in 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
And pretty much from there, the astronauts, they crash land on a planet through the wormhole, and yeah, that's pretty much the synopsis, so they have a framework of which to work. But I'm really glad you got into the characters, man.
Yeah. I mean, again, you can't be super serious on the film like this because
Exactly.
it's sci-fi, and to really wrap people into it, you need those elements that big budget movie have, like special effects and CG animation, all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
but for what you done for this, the shoestring budget you had. It was well done. I liked it. It was
I'm glad
fun.
You liked it, dude.
That's the thing. It was the movie fun. It was. I had a lot of fun from beginning to end.
Yeah.
Again, the only critique was some parts did feel scripted, and some of the parts felt a little drawn out.
Okay. Fair enough.
Music was on point.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
The ending was cool too. I liked the ending.
Oh.
I thought it was very. I thought it was a classic ending.
It was. Yeah, I drew that from Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
Now a question: have you seen the YouTube cut yet?
Not yet.
Because there's some added content. I mean, there might be a post-credit scene in there.
There you go. Even more
So,
incentive.
Yeah, because I wanted to give people a reason to come back. So okay, I saw it at the premiere party. Now I want to see, now what else do they have on YouTube? Because why just post the same thing? I add a little bit extra. So there is a post-credit scene in there that
awesome.
I
Okay.
highly recommend if you're. I'll just say if you're into Mad Max, you'll like it.
Okay, so even if you didn't see it at the premiere, which is a shame, you should have been there because it was awesome. But
how do you think the turnout was, by the way?
It was good.
It was. It wasn't huge, but it was a huge, diverse group of people.
You had more than 10 people. Yeah, at least like
what? 20 or something?
Yeah, you had a lot of people there.
I had my ORL coworkers, a whole bunch, I had Hector, a whole bunch of my friends from the dorm, some other people.
Yeah.
A couple of teachers came. You know who came? So Nico Poplowski, right? He is a physics teacher here at University of New Haven, but apparently he is incredibly famous in the field. I just invited him on Facebook because I'm friends with him because I work with his roommate who's a political science department chair on the Mayor's Commission. But anyway, that side. So Nico, he has published all these really cool theories on black holes, and that kind of tied into the movie a little bit. And afterwards, he was talking to me about the science of it, and he was very thrilled by it, which really meant a lot to me, as does your praise. But then he started showing me pictures of him at a party with Kip Thorne, and if you don't know who Kip Thorne was, he was the scientific advisor on Interstellar. And he even showed me him with a selfie with Stephen Hawking, even.
That's pretty cool.
Did I tell you about this?
No. Wow,
yeah,
that's awesome.
he's a Polish guy, but he's incredibly renowned in the field of astrophysics. And, having him at the movie, I thought that was really cool. Cause,
yeah, are you kidding me? That's a score, dude.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
He's way up there. So, I was a little surprised he came, but I'm glad he liked it, because I suppose as an avid fan of sci-fi himself, he could see all the influences and,
yeah, I'm sure he really enjoyed
science,
it.
The thing of sci-fi is it's all about, it's all about the repercussions of unintended consequences. So, that's why I think it's so interesting,
It's a different kind of storytelling, too. Because I'm used to storytelling, because I love characters in a story, so I want to see a character that has something they love and then being taken away from them. Then they had to do everything they can to get that back. Your kind of storytelling was, like you said, unintended consequences. Mm-hmm. And how do you deal with that? And
survivalism.
Yeah. So that's why you had a different kind of storytelling. And once I wrapped my mind around that, I was all for it.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you liked it, and we'll post the link in the description, right?
Of course, yeah. So again, if you didn't catch the premiere, he has more content on the YouTube version. So definitely check that out. It's gonna be in the link description below.
Also,
job well done.
Thank you so much for saying that, Hector. And if you want to see some of my earlier films, like Battle of Kaiju Island, which actually I should have mentioned. I don't know if you picked up on it, but all the stock footage in there. Mm-hmm. This is actually somewhat of a quasi sequel to Battle of Kaiju Island. If you guys have seen it. of course, it takes place, hundreds of years later, but it ties in a little. You'll see the tie-ins.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, as a somewhat filmmaker myself for my own YouTube channel,
Yeah, of course.
which I'll put in the description below. You made a 20 to what?
It's like 23 minutes.
23-minute film.
Yeah.
That's an undertaking, which is why I can see that how long the production would take especially like you do so much.
Yeah, there's so many different elements, and because one thing I was really trying to get better with was pacing on this one. So maybe learning to have the restraint. Maybe okay, well I have all this footage, but maybe only a third of it is needed to convey the point. I don't just because I filmed doesn't mean I have to throw it in there. If it leads to a better flowing story, but
yeah.
But
your film was, like you said before, is an homage to like other sci-fi films.
Yeah.
But it's original.
Because
it's
it takes from so many different things. It becomes its own new thing.
Yeah, exactly. Because when I did my short film, it was like around 5 to 6 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's based on the video game Metal Gear Solid 5, and that's where I'm taking the inspiration from. Of course, I'm making my own. I'm putting my own elements into it as far as like it's a stealth mission. I have to go retrieve this thing. But again, I'm taking it from there, so hopefully people will see that message. In the way that you had your film, the same way, I hope people see this message that I'm bringing together all these films to make one cool fan film.
It's very much a love letter to all these things, which I think, because film really is, to me, it's the superior art form, by far it evokes the most emotion, in me at least personally, of any other art form. So it really is a love letter to Kubrick and Nolan and, all of my sci-fi heroes.
Right, yeah. I mean, that's your prerogative too. I would disagree. I would say video games are more of the
that's fair.
But
it's subjective.
It's where we come from. I grew up on video games. You grew up on movies, so.
I mean, obviously, I still love video games, but I guess the final thing I'd like to say is making this one more than any of the others. It really made me appreciate that. It's not easy to make a good movie, and
no, it's not.
When we're so critical of big Hollywood films that are bad per se, like Fantastic Four, for instance, completely panned by critics. But you know what? It took them a lot of work to make that, and just because maybe it's not a good film, doesn't discount the effort of people. Because making a 25-minute movie was hard enough, on top of making a 2-hour film with special effects and everything, and an original score.
Oh yeah.
So it really gave me an appreciation.
That's
for that.
what. Yeah, I mean, that's a great point because I was looking at the special features for Toy Story Inside Out this weekend. And just the amount of work that goes into just one frame of animation.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Is ridiculous. Like,
it's ridiculous.
I don't like. I would love to be like in that realm, but there's so much work put into it. So the fact that you made a 23-minute film, the shots were great, the music was on point, like the acting and everything. Like again, in fan film perspective, it was really fun. And
well, that's all I ever wanted it to be.
Yeah, so
check it out.
Definitely go check it out. I highly recommend it. Even if you're not into sci-fi, like myself, I'm mildly into sci-fi, but I really enjoyed myself with it. It was a lot of fun. So thank you again so much, Ben.
Subscribe to Ben SB96.
Yes. Again, I'll put it all in the description below. But again, thank you, Ben, for joining me on Podcast Charge.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
We're definitely see more of you around in the show.
Absolutely.
But thank you guys again for joining us for this week on Podcast Charge, a fun-filled episode talking about a really cool movie by a really great director, writer, producer.
Thanks, man.
All the above. So, thank you guys for joining us again. Again, you can catch the Charger Bulletin newspaper every Wednesday in the Recon on University of New Haven, or you can go to chargerbulletin.com, follow Charger Bulletin at Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook by its name, and the rest of the stuff is going to be linked in the description below. Also, you can check out my internet radio show, Team TMG, every Monday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Charger Radio. All right?
Awesome.
Any last words?
No. Just,
go check out the movie.
Check it out and subscribe.
All right.
Subscribe to TMG and Podcast Charge.
Yeah.
And then SB96. Yeah.
There you go. All right, all in the description. See you guys later. Peace out.
out.
Have a good day.